Morning. Please.
Morning.
Please sit down. So, Dr. Akanksha and Professor.
Not doctor.
Eh?
No, I've not completed PhD as of now, sir.
You've done your
Yes,
PhD?
pursuing, sir.
Pursuing it, okay. Anyway, you will soon be PhD. So, how are you this morning?
So I'm good, thank you.
Now, you have done a lot of work in geography. What is your PhD thesis for geography?
So my PhD synopsis, which has been improved, is on development and disasters, a case study of Uttarakhand.
Very nice.
Development?
And disasters.
Oh.
The interface between the two, a case study of Uttarakhand.
Okay, so very topical.
Yes.
Do you get the impression that there were warnings and we didn't take good notice of that? Before something serious happened.
Yes, sir. There were warnings. I think you were. So, what are you referring to? The particular incident? May I ask? Which particular incident?
No, there was one incident recently.
Singh, yes. Yes, sir. So there were ample warnings, and there were also some suggestions which were given. For instance, the tunnel should have an escape route. Such suggestions were made because we did not have an escape route and the miners were stuck. That is why we faced some challenges over there. But the EIA exercise and the Geological Survey of India had given us some hints on these issues.
Now, finally, those who could come to the rescue were also quite an interesting comment on how we think and what is appropriate technology.
Yes, sir.
Now, you must also have taken interest in COP28.
Yes, sir.
So, did we make any progress in Dubai?
Yes, sir. I would say that we have made some incremental progress over there because the loss and damage fund is on the verge of finalization. Also, sir, we are now, India's stand was that we want to put emphasis on transitioning away from fossil fuel. So on that front, but sir, on the climate finance front, we have still not been able to successfully put it out that which are the countries which would finance, what would be the meaning of climate finance. On those fronts, we are still lagging behind, sir.
Yeah, but coming to fossil fuels, at first we were phasing out, then it became phasing down. Now we are transitioning. So don't you think it's all play with words without any specific targets?
So I think it is a very intentional use of words. When we say phase down, or phase out, we are actually putting the emphasis upon the developing countries, which are the largest users of fossil fuel, to cut down on their usage. But when we are saying transitioning, we are accounting for the present needs of the developing countries, and we are imagining that it is not possible to phase out overnight. It will take some time.
Good point. But at the same time, considering that the host had, for reasons good and sufficient, interest in slowing down the transitioning, not as a developing country, but as a producer country, exporter country. So it's not only the interest of the developing countries, but it's also the interest of the richer producer countries. Okay, now today's newspapers, how many have you read?
I read it in the evening, so today's newspaper I have not been able to.
Is that your standard practice, reading only in the evening?
Sir, not usually, sir. But I just came back yesterday to Delhi. So, sir, I have been in.
Where were you?
Sir, I was in Ranchi where I'm working, sir.
Okay. Good. Please.
So how do you manage your PhD in Jawaharlal Nehru University? You work in Ranchi and you do a long distance kind of a PhD or what?
Sir, I was a part of integrated MPhil PhD program in 2018. So I joined this job 1.5 years ago. So after that, I wrote to my university. I have now switched my PhD to part-time program. So basically, I have to do my fieldwork. I have to correspond with my supervisor, and I can come and submit once in 6 months my progress to the.
Okay, so it can be done remotely.
Yes, sir, part-time PhD.
Okay, so you're not actually sitting in GNU to do it.
No, sir.
Okay, but you've also been in Miranda House. Why was it named Miranda? Who's Miranda?
Sir, the college was named by Sir Maurice Goyer, and sir, there are three plausible explanations why he named it Miranda. One was that he was influenced by the character in Shakespeare's play Tempest, which was Miranda. He was fond of the character. The second is. So I'm not able to recall. This is the primary reason. I'll just look it up.
Or was it something to do with his daughter or something? No.
Sir, yes, sir. Yes, sir. His daughter was also named as Miranda. Yes.
Maybe.
That was also.
Okay. Now coming back to the climate change, what is CBAM? CBAM, and how is it affecting us, the Indians particularly?
Sir, it is the carbon border adjustment mechanism of the European Union. So basically, the European countries are now, when they are importing any product, they are looking for the amount of carbon emission which has taken place in its production. For developing countries like India, our exports become less competitive in that sense. So it may hamper our exports. That is one.
Which are the particular exports which are being affected?
So I think it has to do largely with. So I'm not sure, but I think it has to do with metals and cement exports.
Steel and cement and all that. But why is it that, we are such an advanced country in manufacture of steel and we've been exporting? We are still, following technology which is, having large amounts of carbon emission, whereas other countries are, they'll be getting a favorable deal with the European Commission, Europe, if they export. How is it that we have not done anything?
So I think suppose in the manufacturing of iron and steel, sir, a large part of the manufacturing also involves electricity, which is coal-based. Maybe that. So at the root cause of it, we have fossil fuel somewhere. So overall, our carbon footprint because of these manufactured product is high as of now. So that could be one reason. Also, sir, I think it will take some time to reach to that level of technology wherein our carbon footprint is minimized.
Okay, great. You belong to Varanasi?
Sir, we have recently relocated. We were living in Jharkhand for till 2021. Then my father retired. So 2 years ago, we shifted to Varanasi.
So what is this, controversy going on in Varanasi? Now we've got the Ram temple already in Ayodhya. So now they've started after another temple. What is this thing going on there? What is your take on this?
So on the Gyanvapi issue?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So I think, sir, in the Gyanvapi issue, the major contention is that the people from the Hindu fraternity are saying that they want right to worship in Gyanvapi. Now, this entire issue is, as it was adjudicated in the lower court, that it comes under the Places of Worship Act. However, recently, the High Court has said that the matter is not of place of religious worship, and even if it is there, the religious nature of the place is yet to be decided. So they have given their they have given their consent for ASI survey. So this is the issue as it stands today. Sir, different religious faith have their right to stake claim to particular places of worship. It is a matter of faith and it will be decided by the courts, sir.
Okay, good.
Okay, AKANCHHA. What is a time zone? Geography is your subject. What is a time zone and why we have adopted this 50-degree longitudes?
Sorry, sir, 50-degree.
15 degree.
Okay.
Why it is 15-degree longitude?
So, time zones are determined by the longitude. For instance, India's Indian Standard Time is defined by 83.5 degree east longitude. So, sir, because the rotation of the Earth is from west to east, so different areas witness sunrise at different times. So, according to this latitude, two latitudes have a difference of 4 minutes. So, these latitudes help us maintain the local standard time of a place.
Okay, AKANCHHA, which is the country which has got the maximum time zones?
So it's. So I
Okay,
think
that
it's
is-
France. It's France.
How many?
So numbers, sir, I'll have to find out because sir, it has islands in the Indian Ocean also. It has islands in the Pacific Ocean also, and France itself in Europe. Otherwise, if we see at longitudinal extent, countries like Russia and US also have more number of time zones.
Can you tell me first Meridian conference when it was held and what the prime factors, what they have decided in it? The first Meridian conference.
So I cannot exactly recall right now.
I see in justice, women are facilitated in the cases. You go in the court, they prefer the women's. Our India is not going towards a gender-biased justice.
So I would need some clarification on this question, sir. Women are going to court.
If you, I mean, if a woman go and he say the man usko घूर रहा था, तो their case can be registered against a man. What is this?
So I think it is more to do with some proper safeguards which should be in place. And I think even if the intention.
That safeguard is okay. That safeguard is fine, but it is not a gender-biased justice. Why it should not be inquired first and then they just registered the case if we go, why women go in the some station, police station.
So because historically in India, the way we have seen that a lot of women do not report the cases. So as a positive measure, it has been put up in the rule books, and so that if a woman goes to a particular police station with a complaint, it should be taken seriously, because previously there was not a lot of seriousness and they would be sent back from the police station.
So the injustice which have done in the history with the woman now is being done with the man. Don't you see it?
So I think it will still need to be proven. The case will need to be proven. It is not as if it is registered, so the person is complicit. No, law will take its course, and decision will be made on merit and evidence.
Sir.
आकांक्षा, हमारे देश की आकांक्षा क्या है? You can speak in English.
Sir, if I can just add one line in Hindi, that देश की आकांक्षा अभी तो है विकसित भारत बनना 2047 तक, 2000 till 2047 we want to become a developed country.
In this regard, I will further go. What is Panch Prana of our Prime Minister, which he is focusing upon? Also related with the good governance in India.
So I had read about it, but can't exactly remember
Okay,
the points.
okay.
But overall, it had to do with environmental conservation, preservation, fraternity among people of different religious groups, striving for excellence in every sphere of activity, and intellectual and spiritual development.
Removing colonial mindset.
Yes, sir.
Simplifying the procedures.
Yes, sir.
And okay. Now tell me, you were editor of magazine in Miranda House. Okay. Now my question is that there are different kind of journalism. One, somebody who writes in newspapers and magazines, somebody who's in electronic media, and somebody is there in cyber world, social media. So what kind of aptitude person might be having who would like to go to print media, and who would like to go to electronic media, or who would like to be in social media? Just think about it. I'll give you a hint. Suppose I want to read and I want to go in great detail, so I would like to write an article. Something like that.
Yes, sir. So I think in social media, so if you can express more with less words, that becomes very important. For instance, on social media, people are not interested to read long articles.
Okay. So the sense of humor, intelligence might be more required.
Yes, sir, definitely. Or maybe if you have some ability to caricature and to maybe to convey a message through a small video also, or through a poetry and so on, social media can be your field. If, as you just said, sir, in print media, people, the debate is more serious, the articles are relatively longer, and the words are also sometimes more, how should I say, there are some difficult words which we find in print media. In electronic media, I think both your audio and visual aptitude become very important. The way you present yourself, the way you speak, all of this becomes very important in electronic media.
And you want to have aptitude, you have aptitude to connect with the masses.
Yes.
Okay. Now tell me, you heard about this word friend shoring. Janet Allen had given this concept of friend shoring.
I can't recall, sorry, sir.
Okay, never mind. Now tell me, in India, my last question, how the consumer's interest is protected? What is consumer's protection architecture in India?
So we have a legislation to this effect, Consumer Protection Act. I think it is under the, sorry sir, I am not able to recall, but I think it's under the Ministry of Commerce, under which this consumer protection is there. We can file complaint with regard to any product which is damaged, or we have any service which has not been given as per its standards. So we can file complaint online. Also we can go for grievance redressal. So these are the things that I can recall as of now.
Thank you.
Thank you. I was just seeing your, DAF and your hobbies, and I was just curious, what is your informal letter writing about?
Ma'am, so I am fond of writing letter, and especially to my friends and family members, because it helps me. Sometimes in verbal communication, we don't get a lot of time to process our emotions. So to that effect, I use letter writing as a hobby to better process emotions and articulate my thoughts.
So is it emails or physical letter
Physical
writing?
letters, ma'am, handwritten letters.
Handwritten ones.
Yes.
Okay, all right, very nice. Trying to, keep those things alive, otherwise they are soon, getting out of vogue. So, you're a researcher also, and a lot of people, students have been using Chat GPT. Have you also used Chat GPT for...
Ma'am, I have used ChatGPT to make my task easier. Once in my college, I was supposed to give 200 distinct topics for fieldwork. So I started writing. I made 50 topics. Then I thought it's getting very cumbersome. Why not take help from ChatGPT? But then I modified those topics, ma'am, to suit the particular topic that I had.
Can it be called plagiarism?
Ma'am, plagiarism, it can be called if exactly the same content is being copied without citing the reference, then it will be called plagiarism. If we are giving adequate citation, then I think it is acceptable like every other research paper.
Okay, so this year, it was the year when this thing actually came into its own and everybody started talking about generative AI. What do you think are the dangers of AI going forward, and how it needs to be, then countered?
Ma'am, artificial intelligence is beneficial in a lot of ways, but when we talk about the concerns, one major concern that has emerged recently is deep fakes. So because of that, we can people have used morphed videos and pictures, and they have put a dent to the reputation of some celebrities and so on. It will be easier for people to make false claims. To say that someone has committed a particular crime by circulating these videos. These can be some threats which I see as of now. As of generative AI, I think it is also making us lazier. Because without ChatGPT, I would have made all those 200 topics on my own. So I think we also need to be conscious about that. But we are moving towards ethical AI, and now European Union has started with a regulation on AI, and India will also soon follow, ma'am.
European Union and the US also.
US.
Yeah, both of them. So, still, is it a big disruptor going forward?
Yes,
and would it in some way impede our goal towards this 2047? After all, we have a demographic dividend, right? So what do you think? Demographic dividend can turn into a demographic disaster at some point?
Ma'am, AI definitely is a disruptor. It is a big technological breakthrough which has happened, which has just emerged on the fore. But I think, ma'am, the entire concern about AI and digitization taking away jobs is not very, does not find ground, because, ma'am, it is only taking a small portion of the job. So in India, there are various other areas. For instance, we are still saying that labor-intensive technology in those industries, we should make investment. We should, and obviously, ma'am, at the very high level, those who are the brains behind developing AI, we also have a place over there. So a very small section of the jobs are at threat, but it is too far-fetched to say that demographic dividend will become a disaster because of AI.
Okay, let me ask you a quick question. Recently, a very senior, very important, eminent person has mentioned about a rate of growth. Yes, that is required so that India is able to achieve, our goals going forward. What is that? You read about
the
it?
exact rate of growth, ma'am?
Yeah, the person first.
Ma'am, is it Raghuram Rajan?
Yeah, very much. Yeah.
Ma'am, I have read his, I have heard his speech a few days back. I'm not sure if it's the same one. He says that for India to achieve $5 trillion economy, the agriculture sector has to grow at more than 10% per year. And we are
And
lagging
the general rate of growth that he said?
to achieve a $5 trillion economy, it is more than 10% overall.
एक
But
बार
I'm
फिर
not
से
sure,
पढ़ना
ma'am.
हाँ एक बार फिर से पढ़ना
I'm not
okay
sure.
all right okay thank you
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Sir,
Yeah, yes, the formal part is over.
Okay.
And we shall call you back for a feedback very shortly.
Okay, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.